Hi, how are you? Welcome to the Etiquette Protocolo channel. And in today's video, we're going to talk a little more about etiquette rules, etiquette mistakes at children's parties. A very common event is children's parties, right? Especially parents who are used to taking their kids to this kind of event. When the child is a little younger, we end up staying and participating in the party with the other parents. And as the kids grow up, we end up dropping them off and then picking them up later. In this video, I've put together some important practices for parents, right? This video here is directed at parents to observe during the process of development and also to guide if you notice your children making this kind of mistake as well. To point out why that behavior might be considered rude or not so pleasant in this kind of event. Remember, if you just arrived here on the Etiquette and Protocol channel, or if you always watch our videos and check out the news here, but you still haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to the Etiquette and Protocol channel, go ahead and subscribe, turn on notifications, and follow us on social media as well. On Instagram, there is different content there too, and on TikTok, make sure to follow along. We are on all platforms as Etiquette and Protocol, and I am waiting for you. The first thing you should pay attention to when taking your child to a children's party is to never let them go wearing a costume of the party's theme. So, for example, if your child is invited to a Spider-Man party, it's not appropriate to dress your child as Spider-Man to go to that event unless it's something that was agreed upon or the birthday child's mom or dad has informed you that the other children should come dressed as Spider-Man. This also applies to any party theme, whether it's a princess or any other theme chosen by the child. Usually the theme of the party, especially when there's a character involved, the costume or outfit for that party theme is meant for the birthday child. The birthday child usually wants to wear that outfit, and having other people competing with the birthday child is not pleasant. It won't be a polite thing to do. So it's better if your child, for example, wants to go in costume to the party, suggest a different costume, right? If the party is about Spider-Man, have them dress up as, say, Captain America. If it's a Frozen party, have them dress up as Rapunzel. Let's switch up the costumes. Of course, it's not forbidden to wear a costume, but really your child wearing the costume that matches the party theme. Only when it's requested by the birthday child or by the mom and dad of the birthday child. There's something I know because I'm a mom too. I have a 3-year-old daughter and she likes to go to the candy table and rush to the candy table. Try to hold your child back from rushing to the candy table. Of course, there's the moment when everyone sings happy birthday and the kids get anxious to eat the sweets and grab the party favors. And this is a moment all the kids really look forward to. I know that it's the anticipation of the birthday song anyway. But it's important for you to observe your child's behavior during the birthday song. That doesn't mean he can't take some sweets after the birthday song. He can. But yeah, we see kids doing this at the table, taking everything for themselves, not leaving anything for the other kids. So it's time to eat the sweets after the birthday song. Wait, right, let your child take a few things, but remember there are other people too, there are other kids, and usually when a party is planned, there are party favors for everyone. So there's a little bit for everyone. It's important to think about others too and watch your child's behavior there. Not to mention that attacking the candy table before the birthday song, most people already know that's not appropriate. In the world of children, we know that anything is possible because kids are really full of surprises. As I've said before, I'm a mom and I know this. In fact, I'm even pregnant with another child. So I know very well what it's like to have a child at home. But you really need to observe how your child behaves during the party games. Many parties have entertainers, people who organize and suggest activities for all the children. And some children, right, especially older children, start coming up with other games on the side and form a separate group, right? Many times you see the entertainer with the birthday child and some of the children there are playing, doing a suggested activity. And another child is trying to create a different game to possibly compete with the game the entertainer is leading. So be careful. Watch your child's behavior. Of course, if your child is, let's say, 10 years old and he's at a party for 3-year-olds, it could be that the game suggested by the entertainer is meant for the birthday child's age group and might not interest your 10-year-old, and that's okay. So it's important for us to interpret the context and the situation and to see how our child reacts, right, in situations where he's with kids of a similar age. And not when it comes to contexts and situations that are different, that can be interpreted in various ways. And that really happens because a 10-year-old child won't want to do activities meant for 3-year-olds. Most of the time, right? Sometimes the child is older, sometimes they might even join in, but it might not happen anyway. So we know it's important to evaluate the context. Another point too that I always mention when I talk about events is about confirming attendance. Yeah, we often don't have the habit of confirming our attendance at events. So, for example, if you received an invitation to a party for your child, if your child was invited to an event, confirm your attendance. If you still don't know if you'll be able to attend, let them know, look, I still can't confirm it for you. And then when you have that confirmation, you send a message, you call, you let the mom or dad of the birthday child know, or whoever is responsible for the birthday child. So every time you go to a party, and also when you apply this and teach it to your child, it's essential to teach this to your kid. Yeah, when you get an invitation, evaluate. If you already know you're going, confirm your attendance and say you'll be there. Because we know that every person who is present at a birthday party has a cost for the person organizing that event. There is a cost involved in the event. So many times the person is inviting you and not inviting other people. So whenever you receive an invitation, let them know right away if you're going or not, if you're thinking about it, or if you'll confirm later, because the person is waiting for your response. It's important for us to create and develop this habit in our family and to pass it on to our children. Another point that also happens a lot at parties, even my own students always mention it, right? When we talk about events and receptions, whether at homes or bigger parties, is about people who like to bring other people along. It's that famous phrase, guys, guests don't invite other guests. So if you were invited and your child was invited, it's essential that you interpret and understand that invitation. Don't go bringing cousins, friends, or other uninvited people to the party and assume that everyone is invited to that event. Because as I mentioned before, every person who is at the event and was invited to that event costs money, no matter how small. It's not that many times the person doesn't want to welcome their guests or their whole family. It's just that sometimes it can be difficult. So, for example, sometimes you have more than one child and you're used to sending both of them to the party. Check first, right? Also check if all the siblings were invited. I know that sometimes it can be delicate to explain to the child, to your little one that you're responsible for, that one was invited and the other wasn't. But if it's really important to you that your other child goes, check if it's possible, talk to the host, and also understand if the answer is no. Because we know that one day it's that person who's throwing the party, and the next day it could be us organizing an event, and this kind of situation can happen to us too. And we like to be prepared, both for the number of guests and for the number of confirmed gifts on the day of the event. Because imagine, you organize an event for 40 people and suddenly, to your surprise, there are 80. So that's something that gets a little out of your control, and it's important for you to pay attention to that. Speaking a little about children's party decorations, we know that parties often come with decorations that impress, beautiful theme decorations that set the mood and really make you want to take them home. Just because you want to take them home doesn't mean you should. So be careful when taking decorations from the table to your home, decorations from the party that you think are souvenirs. If you're unsure about something, ask the host. Sometimes there's an event planner or even a coordinator helping out at the event and other responsible people assisting there. Yeah, check if you can take something in case you're unsure. Just because the decoration is on the table doesn't mean you should take it home with you. Be careful with that, and it's important for us to always check before taking things. And a key point when we talk about parties is the matter of the gift. Many people consider that a gift is something irrelevant, but the gift, it's not tied to the price of the item you give to someone, the price of your gift, what you're going to give as a gift, but rather to the gesture, the act of giving. So when you go to a children's party, especially kids, they really love getting gifts. And kids, they're actually much more genuine and sensitive than adults in this regard. Because for them, what really matters is the experience of receiving the gift, not what the gift actually is. So when you go to a children's party, even if it's a child who you think already has everything, right? Sometimes we think like this. João, for example, Maria's son, well, wow, Maria has everything. She gives everything to João. João doesn't need a gift. I don't need to bring a gift for João. But it's not about the value of the gift, what you're going to bring. It's about the attitude, your gesture, your intention in bringing a gift for the child in question. So it is really important, regardless of the nature of the event, that you bring a gift for the birthday child. And if by any chance that party has more than one birthday child, because sometimes that can happen at children's parties, it's a good idea to bring a gift for both birthday kids, okay? It's important for you to note that, so pay attention. If you've made it this far in the video, you definitely take care of a child, you have a son or daughter, you're a mom or a dad. And another video that you're really going to like is this one I'm going to leave here on the side, which talks a little more about children's etiquette at home. And we talk a little more about whose fault it is when children disobey. I'll leave it here for you to watch next. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave your opinion down below about these issues and practices of etiquette at children's parties. That's it, thanks, and see you in the next video.